fifth professional fight. Very, very popular fighter. And he'll get a lot of support here from a very partisan home crowd. Been a pro since 2012, and by a distance, this the biggest fight he's had.
Este combate por el Campeonato de la Unión Europea del peso pluma a una distancia de 12 asaltos de 3 minutos. Árbitro, referee encargado de dirigir este combate, señor Philip Wouters de Bélgica. Jueces encargados de puntuar, señor Arnold Golder de Alemania, Daniel van der Meer de Bélgica y el señor Luca Montella de Italia. Supervisor del campeonato, señor Domingo Matas. Y vamos con las presentaciones. En el rincón azul, perteneciente al Team Balad, auxiliar de la esquina, por la Magellana y Asís Alab, con un récord profesional de 11 combates, 11 victorias. Este púgil, campeón de Francia del ex-Burdeos, Geoffrey dos Santos. Y en el rincón rojo, perteneciente al equipo NGZ, auxiliar en la esquina, por Joshua, Jesús del Valle y Juan Alberto, con un récord profesional de 21 combates, 18 victorias, 6 de ellas por KO y 3 derrotas, el 4 veces campeón de España, campeón intercontinental de la IBF, de Ochalco Haga, el machito Andoni.
So final words of advice now to be given by the referee.
Vas-y. Ok. Ça va?
Well, once the Master of Ceremonies encourages the cornermen to get out, we can get underway. Vacant title. Dos Santos, trained by a former top amateur fighter, Ali Halab, comes into this on the back of 11 straight wins, but he's never stopped anybody. Gago doing his best to look intimidating out there, and he looks a tough sort of character. There's Dos Santos.
So it's a championship, important championship. So please be correct and fair. Pay attention to your head. Don't hit in the neck or in the back, and not too low. I wish you a very good fight. God protect you.
Oh, nicely put. Anthony Gago had a fight against Villarreal Simeon. Fight fans might remember him as somebody who gave both Lee Selby and Scott Quigg tests. Simeon beat Gago on points, so that kind of tells you whereabouts he is in the pecking order. It doesn't always work like that, but it gives you an idea of where he's standing.
Yeah, he's a little bit below that level, obviously that top European class level, I guess you would call it. He's obviously tough and strong. He's going to be at his best tonight, you would suggest.
Full European title held by Marc Vidal. Geoffrey dos Santos, left-hand side of your picture, slightly the taller man. Been a pro since 2013. And comes into this as the French champion. That's no knockdown.
Okay.
And amazing, dos Santos, even though he's not a puncher, he looks like with a wide stance, a muscular back. It looks like every punch is sharp. He looks like he carries a bit of a dig.
Well, we'll see. Nice body shot from Gago. Nice right hand. He was stopped in 9 by Lee Selby, Anthony Gago.
Just round the back, that right hand. I thought it was a good body shot on the Santos, but the referee just signalling that was around the back.
I was mentioning Mark Vidal. I noticed from list of bouts coming up that he's due to fight that redoubtable old warrior Kiko Martinez, defending his European title in a week or two. Still keeps rolling along.
Okay, and that's a fight where he can get totally outboxed and just knock you out in 2 rounds with Martinez. He's just one of the most recycled fighters you could find at the lower weights.
Tough guy, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's always dangerous. As we've seen with Josh Warrington a year or so ago.
If you're just joining us, among those at ringside as the atmosphere builds, Roberto Duran, former boxing legend, hands of stone, and lovely to say, he's looking very well.
He really is. There's been a lot of fights very similar, where you have one guy who's a lot the better technician, and the other guy who's just full of determination and will. And I think it looks like that already here with Gago, ungainly, technique's not great, but he's willing to come forward and let his hands go. And the Santos, I don't think he's massively gifted technically, but looks the better, keeps his shape better.
Well, twice so far we've seen verdicts go in favour of effort over technique, and there's a cut.
The right eye there, the Santos. And I bet you that was a clash of heads. They've been very close very often.
I don't know whether we'll see a replay of that. Sometimes the replays haven't illustrated quite everything we'd want to see. But as he goes back to his corner, Gago probably doing enough to take that opening round. Dos Santos, he has his cornerman working away at that cut around the right eye.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem so early in the fight as well for Dos Santos.
Accidental, you hear the Italian referee saying.
There's that right hand. I thought it was a good shot from that angle. Referee was right, was on the back. He took the shots quite well, Dos Santos, but again, Gago then just has sheer determination. Just maybe outworked him.
It's not clear from those replays if we've actually seen the clash of heads that caused the cut, and I suspect not. But from what the referee said, it must have been heads that caused it.
Yeah. Which obviously makes it very important to win these early rounds now, because it goes to the judges' cards.
Seconds out.
So first round to Gago.
Yeah, just on sheer work rate.
Into round 2, 12 rounder for the vacant EU featherweight title.
Again with the heads.
A 9-stone division.
Good jab there for the Santos.
Santos just being told to keep his punches up. Right hand was on the borderline.
He wings it round, and it's the right idea, I think, but he just, his hands may be too long for him, and he just goes on the back, not on the waist where he wants it.
Oh, nice shot, Gago. Left hand. He's a swarming sort of fighter.
Yeah, he is, and gain, isn't he? You just can't see where the punches are coming from, because I don't think he knows.
No, he's not pretty. It's not the sweet science. And you can see blood now is seeping from that damaged right eye of Dos Santos. And you wonder whether he's going to be able to go 12 rounds if he needs to. Gago, of course, will be urged on by seeing the sight of blood, and he'll be thinking, maybe I've got it in me here to force a stoppage.
Well, and he's winning the fight again. He's winning this one so far on work rate alone. And maybe that cut just affecting Dos Santos, because he's not willing to let his hands go. A good left hook though there from Dos Santos.
Gago putting a lot into the early stages here. 12 rounder, doesn't want to be punching himself out. 32 years old, he's the older man, and already just a little bit of marking as well around his left eye, although he's got that sort of fight, with that sort of face, which you wouldn't, if you were sort of putting him on an ID parade, he'd certainly be shown up as a pugilist, wouldn't he? Looks every inch a fighter.
Oh, good shot, right hand left hook there from Gago.
And is he cut as well, or is that blood on his face from the face of Dos Santos.
Yeah, I think it's more from Dos Santos, that blood's all over his face. I don't think it's trouble in his vision, I don't think, but yes, his face is covered in blood.
That right eye
Shot.
damage round about the eyebrow line above that right eye. Great support from the Spanish faithful for Gago.
Heads
the chant
again.
going up.
Heads again there. Dos Santos coming up with the head this time. Just holds his ground too much, Dos Santos, and then loves Gago to work away.
Keeps on taking shots like this. He's not going to go 12 rounds.
Well, he's not great. He's technically the better, but defensively not too good. He just holds his ground right in front of Gago, and then Gago just lets his hands go. And another round there for Gago. The first round was close, that not so much.
2 out of 2. And Bilbao is a happy city at the moment. That's where the heads came in. Ooh, ouch.
And it's been a few times there the heads have clashed. That's where the cut happened in the first round.
Referee said nothing.
See what Dos Santos does a bit of work. Dos Santos so he just stands right in front of Gago, and then Gago just keeps throwing his punches. Obviously Dos Santos doesn't carry any power.
Yeah, you're saying he looks like
he should,
stands wide, doesn't he? As though he's going to tee off, but he's not budged him, and that looks nasty.
Jagged little cut as well, isn't it? Which makes it just a little bit hard to stem the flow there.
So 2 rounds out of 2 on Barry's card for the Spaniard Anthony Gago. 12-rounder, we move into the third. Difficult to see on the evidence of the first 2 rounds how Dos Santos is actually going to win this fight.
Yeah, well, what he needs to do is when he throws his punches like that, he lands with the jab, but he rolls underneath shots quite effectively. Then he stands too tall in front of Gago. He needs to throw his punches and take an angle off every time. Nice little uppercut there, though. Screw shot.
Gago was just dabbing at his face a little bit uncomfortably. I think he was worried that he was cut at that stage, and that's a good exchange, and Dos Santos certainly giving us as good as he gets, and the heads going bumping and boring once more, and the referee's really got to keep a close watch on that.
He's come out looking for the stoppage, hasn't he? Dos Santos worried about that cut, good right hand.
He's never had a stoppage, remember. If he were to stop Gago, that would be some achievement.
Good body shot there though from Dos Santos.
Suggesting how on earth is he going to win this fight? Well, maybe he's answering my own question.
You're saying earlier, weren't we, Joe? Sometimes your technique and skills sometimes go out the window. It's just sometimes about determination, will to win.
Well, how many times have we seen that over the years?
But one thing's constant in that. Fitness is always a factor.
And who's going to be the fitter here? Dos Santos, the younger man, the fresher man, you might argue. Despite the fact that he's got blood all over his body at the moment.
Because Gago is less schooled, he might be used to fighting at this sort of place, because this is the only way he has any success, you would feel.
Bit of scarring under, marking, grazing underneath the left eye of Anthony Gago.
Good shot by Gago, sorry.
So both of them told off about heads again. It's just I don't think there's a lot of deliberate intent, it's just the styles.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Dos Santos trying to put the pressure on, he's tending to fall in behind his head. Well, he'd be struggling to fall in any other way, but you know what I mean, he's leading with the head.
As you said, he headbutted Gago right on cue. He's had a good round though, Dos Santos.
Big effort, isn't it? He's really dug deep here. And fair play to him, because he's been on the receiving end for the first couple of rounds. Gago finishing strongly. Oh, what an exchange. Terrific. and the best punch was arguably the one which ended it, was the right hand from Dos Santos, and a real look into each other's eyes there, as much as to say, who has taken that, who's the stronger?
Well, that's a Dos Santos round for me, John. I think he was busier throughout. You know, he really tried to force the pace. Obviously feeling that cut's not doing him any favours at all.
Gago, feisty stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the exchange at the end of the round was absolutely fantastic. And both lucky that neither one's a big puncher, to be honest. Because their chins are both there to be hit, John. They just look at this, fantastic stuff.
Great stuff.
Seconds out. Seconds out. Okay, box.
Cuarto asalto.
Fast start to the fourth round. Oh, good work again from Dos Santos.
Got to stay low, Dos Santos. He rolls on the punch and he comes up too straight. Stay as low as he possibly can. Oh, lovely uppercut there from Gago. See, I don't think he knows what he's doing half the time, Gago. I think he just literally just sees someone in front of him, just lets his hands go, and wherever they go, they go. Good shot there, back from Dos Santos.
And again, a nasty clash of heads, and it's really thudded into him there, and you wonder, we've said it's accidental. Was that accidental?
I think it was. Listen, he needs to be warned for it because he's running with the head, but I don't think there's any intention behind it.
Well, he certainly took a big clatter there, did Anthony Gago. Another really competitive fight. Nobody's being given an easy passage on this, Bill.
No, and sometimes, I don't want to slate the fight, but sometimes, oh, good shot. Lack of ability sometimes ends up being a better fight for it. But neither one has the intelligence, to be honest, to move out of the way or to take a different angle. So they just stood in front of each other, trading blows.
Dos Santos continuing to dab away and comfortably at that damaged right eye. That's a good shot. Oh, and coming forward like a crazed bull there, Anthony Gago. Stumbling towards his own corner. Well, if it were to be stopped after the fourth round, as a result of that cut, which one would suspect it wouldn't be now because they've carried on so long, I guess they've reckoned that they can cope with it, and the referee's happy that they are coping with it, but if it were to be stopped, it would go to the cards.
Hard run to score this.
Nice. It's 6 of one and half a dozen of another, isn't it? I mean, how on earth do you decipher who's won that? And in the old days, when you used to get a lot of level rounds, you'd surely say that was one of them.
And I did just that, John. I sat on the fence.
Well, I wouldn't certainly criticise you for that, but I might criticise Geoffrey Dos Santos for that.
Really bad. And the referee did the right thing. You know, he's told him, you know, and it can't keep happening. Whether it's intentional or not, you can't keep headbutting your opponent. But just when you look like somebody's having a little bit of success, 2 or 3 shots, the other one fires back. It's usually Dos Santos who starts off, and then Gago comes straight back with his own.
Is Gago cut as well over that right eye now?
Do you know what? He's carrying.
I think he is. Yeah,
oh, that's the head again.
He was dabbing away at it, and it's. He's replied in kind, doesn't he? Both of them now carrying cuts. Bit of damage over that left eye as well. They're not going to be a pretty sight by the time they finish. I said that Anthony Gago had a fighter's face. Well, Geoffrey dos Santos likewise is going to be bearing scars. $12 rounder, and it's close thus far. You wouldn't like to bet one way or the other.
Nice little screw shot there with the right hand from dos Santos. Gago just pulling away, taking a little bit of steam out of the shot. That's better for dos Santos. He threw a right hand, he just took a little tiny step to the right. He didn't go again, but he opens up the body for more punches. And more importantly, he's not there to be hit back. Gago needs you right in front of him.
Good shot from the Frenchman. Looping right hand.
This is where Gago go up the pace, because the slower the pace, the better it is for dos Santos.
Put a lot into the early stages for me, Gago. And you wonder, as it goes down the stretch, he's certainly going to have a good engine.
See, when the pace is slower, usually the better technique prevails, and I think that's just better. You see there again there from dos Santos, just slightly the better technique, and at the step to the right, he didn't go again, but he opens up the body for more punches. And more importantly, he's not there to be hit back. Gago needs you right in front of him.
Good shot from the Frenchman. Looping right hand.
This is where Gago go up the pace, because the slower the pace, the better it is for dos Santos.
Put a lot into the early stages for me, Gago. And you wonder, as it goes down the stretch, he's certainly going to have a good engine.
See, when the pace is slower, usually the better technique prevails, and I think that's just better. You see there again there from dos Santos, just slightly the better technique, and at this slightly slower pace, it's only slightly slower, he's having the better of the exchanges.
Heads clash, and Gago backs away. Shake of the head, he thinks that it was illegal. Tough guy's fight this, isn't he? Felt that left hand. You could almost visibly see Gago sag, and he's hurt a little bit here. Took the uppercut as well. He's having to dig deep here, the Spaniard.
It's only just been over 4 rounds of action. It's been hard fight, hasn't it, John? Already.
It certainly has. Dos Santos has landed some telling blows to the body in this round.
It's been a good round for dos Santos. It really has. That's better there, just spinning around the target.
And as fighters always tell me, when you get a really big body shot, the pain stays. But look at the mess on that face, it's awful.
Yeah. But he's forgot about it now, and that's a good thing for him. I think he was worried about it in the early rounds. But I think now he's adjusted to the problem, and he's forgot about it.
Good shot as well. And adrenaline can do an awful lot for you in there.
Yeah, and
carries you through.
But you know what was a big factor in that? Gago. The pace slowed down a little bit, and as I said earlier, the better technique of dos Santos allowed time to show your work, to produce your work, and then I think that was a clear round for him.
I just thought he was getting to him once or twice with body shots. That's a good shot over the top, but he was creating those openings by some really good solid body shots.
There was a left hook, and he looked sort of half low, but it looked like he whipped across the target, and you just seen Gago dip a little bit.
He winced, didn't
he? Just dipped, and I think that just took away a little bit of energy.
He's really feeling it there, Anthony Gago. And on Barry's card, giving that round to Geoffrey dos Santos.
There's that body shot.
Levels up the fight, yeah. He felt that, definitely. So into the 6th round. It's had a brutal edge to it, this fight. Grueling exchanges, and Gago starting the 6th fast after maybe taking a little bit of a break in the 5th, and his corner will have told him you can't carry on at that level, you've got to step it up, and he's trying to do so.
If he's got the engine for it, he has to fight at a higher pace. I think that's been proven already in these early rounds. It's better for Dos Santos, so using the forehand for block. Just needs to come back with a punch, block and counter.
Work rate those with Gago in the first minute of this 6th. But can he sustain it? He has to. Anthony Gago, the Spaniard, on the right-hand side of your picture. Good body shot, Dos Santos. Last fight he had, Anthony Gago, he had a win against the Mexican Victor Terrazas, former WBC Super Bantamweight champion.
Good left hook in close there from Dos Santos.
Had a fight against Randall Munroe a few years ago.
Yeah, it was a good win on paper, but I think he's way past his best.
Certainly way past his best now.
No, I meant against Gago, not against Munroe.
Dos Santos coming back into it now in this round. Targeting the body once more.
And a good right hand to the chin as well from Dos Santos.
Good job from Gago's perspective that Dos Santos isn't a banger.
Yeah.
And he's dabbing away uncomfortably at that eye once more. Anthony Gago, he's not lived with the injury as long as Dos Santos, who was cut as early as the 2nd round. Too much by way of defence from either man now.
Good jab.
Last few seconds of the 6th round, which has again been a really, really grueling 3 minutes for both men, landing big shots right up to the final bell, and Gago salutes the crowd and tells exactly what he thinks. He thinks he's raised his game and won that round.
I thought Dos Santos just nicked it, to be honest. I think it was a very, very close round, but I just preferred the cleaner work of my opinion, was the cleaner work of Dos Santos. I think Gago's just a little bit wild for me. There's some fantastic exchanges, especially in that last sort of 30 seconds, where the lack of defence from both made it enjoyable to watch. Oh, it's a lovely little uppercut there, coming over the right hand there from Dos Santos, and that just finished the round for me. Just stole it maybe from Gago.
Now, two men are used to battling on with these problems, these awful cuts, both of them battered and bruised. We're only at the halfway stage.
Oh, it's like they've done 12, 15 rounds already. Do you know, this had 12 rounds written all over it, this fight, didn't it? But all of a sudden it doesn't seem that way.
No. Both of them will have to put the modelling contract on hold for a little while after this.
Oh, well, you know, I had to do that. I had to do that, John, in my career, but you know, it was all beneficial.
I remember when you were a pretty boy.
You're so used to working with Glenn McCrory that you forget who you're talking to sometimes.
Good body shot. This long looping right hand from Dos Santos.
Good jab.
Yeah, beaten into the punch and again.
Also left it.
Watch the heads, he said, and once again you saw Dos Santos going in low, head first.
And it's not intentional, but he has to be told, because it's like, it's so dangerous.
Started this round well, Geoffrey Dos Santos. This time it's Gago who's going a little bit low and being told to keep his punches up by the referee.
Oh, good response there from Gago.
It's full-blooded stuff, isn't it?
The thing with the referee can't keep telling Dos Santos about his head.
Well, he's got a warning at some point, surely.
You have, I know. I don't think, I'd say it's not intentional, but you can't keep telling the guy about his head and not do nothing about it.
Not take points away, yeah.
Oh, it's good there from Dos Santos, good work.
But he doesn't move him, does he? Not got that power of punch.
Oh, no, not at all.
Gago, the champs go up again.
They're not boxing in this round though, John.
Two tough men. Remember, the EU featherweight belt is on the line. Fighting for pride and for glory. Money at this stage forgotten.
Oh, good comeback though here from Gago.
He tells them again. Oh, and what a terrific round this has been. Not pretty, but my goodness, it asked or demanded or left nothing in terms of commitment and desire. Great round. Dos Santos taking it.
Yeah, I think Gago came back in the last 20-30 seconds tremendously well. But I think most of the round there, it was all Dos Santos.
Well, you've got it 4-2 with one level for Geoffrey Dos Santos, but we've seen before that it's been effort and aggression which has been rewarded for the home fighters here in Spain. Is Dos Santos winning clearly enough?
No, I don't think he is winning clearly enough. I think that sixth round could have gone the other way easily. And obviously that even round they're giving a fourth, that could have gone to Gago, and then he could be up by one. But I do think that Dos Santos, I think he's the better school fighter, so that's why I just give him the edge. And Gago just kicked in a little too late in that round for me. But it's entertaining without being, it's technically very poor, considering it's for some sort of title. But it's been entertaining because of the lack of, I don't want to say ability, but the lack of technical understanding. Yeah, it really has been.
Use whatever words you like, attritional, it's about fitness, desire. And as in so many rounds, it's comme ci, comme ça, 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Oh, it's the best shot we've thrown all night. Oh, Gago's going crazy now.
They're not happy.
Well, rightly so, because that right hand could have drained the energy from Gago. I know what it's like, some of these rounds. They're fighting like it's the last round, for every round.
Left hand and the Gago corner complaining it was low, and another one right on the border from Dos Santos, but Gago takes them so well.
A strong start again to this round for Dos Santos. And again, see, they just had a little slightly better technique. He's punching through the guard rather than the swinging wider shots of Gago.
Still winging a lot of his shots from a long way back, though, isn't he?
Oh.
They always say it's the ones you don't see that cause the damage.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Some of these are starting off somewhere over Portugal.
Box.
Example number one.
Good response there back from Dos Santos.
Swung himself off his feet. Dos Santos guilty of pulling down. You can see the Gago corner absolutely incensed. Well, again, as you watch this, you kind of think maybe Dos Santos is getting the edge on things, but so much willpower from Gago.
I just think Gago, again, another round, he's flirting a little bit there, but he's left it a little bit too late. And maybe the headbutts and the pulling down is affecting his rhythm maybe slightly. But to be honest, I don't think he's the sort of fighter who has a rhythm.
No knockdown. This time Gago the one doing the pulling down.
Box.
Another energy-sapping, grueling round. How did you score it, Barry? Another one for Dos Santos?
Yeah, I thought that was I thought that was easier to score than the last for me. That was a wrong for Dos Santos. I think Gago gives away that first minute and a half, and I think that's the problem he has. And then he's trying to finish flurry late. But maybe not enough, and again the lack of technique, the swinging shots, sometimes allowing Dos Santos to get those straight punches down the pipe, but just down the centre of the guard, just in the tag a little bit quicker.
Worth remembering that Geoffrey Dos Santos, the younger man, the Frenchman, in the other corner, he is the undefeated fighter in this clash. Four rounds to go, if needed, and every indication on the basis of what we've seen so far, another clash of heads there, but every indication that this could go the distance. Heads again, and Gago is his desire to keep on mixing it while sustaining that sort of punishment. Is he just starting to get a little bit jaded as a result of it all?
Well, the heads are banging together like every second exchange, yeah. So it's ridiculous. But and because Dos Santos is the smaller fighter coming forward, he ends up being on the better end of it. That's the problem that Gago is having.
Gago pushing his punches now. There wasn't a huge amount of snap in his work from word go, but there's not a deal there now. A couple of meaty looking body shots from Dos Santos. And another. And Gago bullied back. Referee having a close look.
That's what look at that exchange there for Dos Santos.
Dos Santos getting a bit of shoulder in there and pulling his man around with the inside of the glove, and the heads clashed once more, and again an example of the lack of snap in the punches of Gago. There's nothing in those now. More often than not, they're just arm shots. And Dos Santos, is he getting on top?
Well, for me, he's winning this round on one aggression and also just cleaner punches as well. But Gago needs to push him right now. This really needs to come forward, push forward. Heads again there, right hand for the Santos for the heads, causing more damage. Gago's got to push forward now. For me, this might be another round that he might just be putting second best.
Well, he certainly is for me. And all the quality shots have come from Dos Santos really in this round. It's a big effort in the closing stages by Gago. It's really bitten in on his gum shield. And he's trying to rally, but Dos Santos is finishing the round as the aggressor. Heads in again, yet again.
Okay, last time.
Okay, last time. How many last times have we had? Maybe Anthony Gago needs a point or two deducted from Geoffrey Dos Santos to level this one up. because he's been on the receiving end more in this round than previously. The crowd furious that Dos Santos was getting away with use of the head and with some fairly blatant illegalities.
But and again, nothing's intentional, but he is still doing it. So you have to tell him. But I also feel that Gago's making a meal of it now. Sometimes you're not getting no joy off the referee. You just got to get on with it. And he's tired. And I think that's the big argument. Hence terribly knocking together.
You gave that round to Dos Santos.
Yeah, I think that was it. Again, I think the last two rounds have been easier to score for Dos Santos. It was the 7th round that could have gone easily the other way, and also the 2nd round.
Whatever, you've got it by a clear margin now for the undefeated Frenchman. Who's going to take this EU belt? 3 rounds remaining. We move into the 10th.
Well, I've got him 4 points up now, Dos Santos, but if Gago can muster some energy, start the rounds like he is now, faster. I got a feeling Dos Santos is going to get a point taken away.
Well, he said last time, hasn't he? Big effort in the early stages from Gago. Dos Santos being forced to just cover up. He's coming forward behind his head again. Oh, good shot. Good
body shot as well just before that because from Dos Santos. But Gago started off busier this round. That's good. He's a move around the target now when he's throwing those body shots.
He's thrown an enormous number of punches in the first 40 seconds. No way he's going to be able to sustain it for 3 minutes, you wouldn't think. Those arms have got to be weighing heavy. He's got to be feeling so tired, and Dos Santos now starting to come back. No doubting where the emotion of the crowd lies. Trying to get Gago to dig still deeper to keep this tremendous effort going in the 10th round.
Oh, it really is a tremendous effort. Even when Dos Santos had a little bit of a rally there, Gago's still trying to punch back. And you said he's pushing his punches out now.
But still an enormous number of them.
If he can keep this tempo going for another minute, then there might be a round back in his favour.
I've not done a punch count, but I'd guess that he must have thrown at least 60 or 70 punches in this first couple of minutes of this round. But Dos Santos maybe has more in the tank now in this last minute. Here he comes.
Good sharp punch in there from Dos Santos. A little acceleration of pace we always talk about.
Well, massive effort from Gago. He must have almost punched himself to a standstill in this round. Still pushing his punches out there. What a way to earn a living. What a tough, tough round. And what a tough fight. They'll remember each other for the rest of their careers after this.
It's another good round though to watch, isn't it?
Tremendous effort from Gago though. You've got to give the guy enormous credit for this. Looked as though the fight was slipping away, and he has raised his game so stirringly. What a round, Barry.
It really was, and even though the quality will came from the Santos, but Gago punching from bell to bell, that will to win of a Gago round.
And now they feel the pain from that facial damage. There's some of the clashes of heads.
But this round, Gago didn't really complain about anything, he just got on with it.
And was probably the better for it.
But he focused and concentrating about what he had to do. And that's grip, bite that gum shield and just keep those arms pumping out. And there's always a risk that the quality of work, the burst of attacks for the Santos will steal the round from you. But you just got to keep doing it now. You just got to, these next 6 minutes now, the Gago has to go out and just grab the round for the scruff of the neck and win him, and hope that he's done enough for some of those closer rounds to get the decision.
And so the clock ticks on, and so the bell rings for round 11. And Gago again digging in deep and starting fast.
Box.
Just the referee telling her, oh, good left hook there from Gago.
And he's felt that for the first time almost. Dos Santos felt the weight of the punch. He was caught square. Now, what's the referee doing here? Wants the break. And who's been done a favour there?
Well, Dos Santos done a massive favour. He was the one who was hurt and tired.
Definitely. And the
Unbelievable.
Gago's corner were enraged. No knockdown.
I think the referee's been very generous. I don't think it's anything untoward. He's been very generous.
Well, I don't think he's been great, to be quite honest. Kind of shy away from criticising officials, and this one's been a tough one to look after because there's been so much which has been sort of on the borderline of legality, but you sense that he could have done a bit more.
Heads again there, no one's fault that time.
Low punch. Now, is he going to take away a punch this time? A point, rather. Yes, he is. The point taken away from Dos Santos. And despite all the head clashes, was it for heads?
He saved the heads. I thought
he'd done it for low blow.
And that would have been strange because he hadn't really done too many low blows. Well, nice little 1-2 there from Dos Santos.
Well, that could be a telling deduction. Dos Santos now will try and win the round big.
Oh, good left hook there from Dos Santos also. Oh, again hitting on the break, yeah. See, Dos Santos, just get away with little things, Dos Santos.
Oh, good shot, Dos Santos, and again, brought the punch up well. Now, what's that about?
I don't know. That's nice there from Gago.
He's pulled around the back of the Spaniard's head there. He's in dangerous territory here, Dos Santos. This referee is quite capable of slinging him out. Be an awful way for the fight to end after what we've seen, but it's not impossible.
Oh, it's a good finish to the round from Dos Santos.
Oh, going at it like two bantam cocks here. Heads going in again.
Box.
Nice uppercut there from Gago.
Gago complaining about use of the head. Oh, what a savage round that was. What a round. Point deduction against Dos Santos.
Yeah, I think you give it a 10-8 to Gago.
In which case, your gap, which you had in favour of the Frenchman, the undefeated Frenchman, Geoffrey Dos Santos, narrowing all the time.
Well, Gago came out again in this round, full out. Again, the punches are only push shots, but he came out, continuously throwing punches. I think the referee lost his way a little bit. He felt the pressure to give away a point, I think, from the corner, and probably give a point when he probably shouldn't have, because it was just a low blow, it wasn't the heads.
The referee lost the plot a little bit there. So it's made it through to the final round. Let's hope there's no disqualification. That would be awful to see after what's been given by both these fighters. A stirring battle, not the prettiest, but my goodness, it has been stirring in its way.
It's been fantastic to watch. You know, again, you wouldn't show any young kids this is the way to fight, that's for sure.
It's not a career-enhancing fight, is it, or a career-enhancing style?
Well, you give them both 10 out of 10 for effort, and you really do. But I've got to be honest, to label a title for this sort of quality is not really what boxing should be about.
I think you've got it still 1 point Dos Santos, Barry.
Yeah, just because I think he's done well in the 10th round, and obviously a 2-point margin in the 11th for the low blow or the head or whatever the referee give it forward. So it makes it a little bit closer than probably what it should be. But Gago just got to do what he did the last 2 rounds, just keep pumping those arms out. And Dos Santos just needs those bursts of attacks with a better quality of work.
It's going to go to the final bell one way or another. This, of that I am absolutely convinced. Dos Santos on the front foot, heads going in yet again. Remember, he's already had the 1 point deduction.
Nice little left hook there from Dos Santos.
His work's been the cleaner.
Yeah, and the stronger as well. That's where, for me, just at the edge.
But the volumes come from Gago. Andy's the home fighter, and everything he does is amplified by the reaction of the crowd.
Oh, good right hand there from Dos Santos. Yeah, no, you're right. And they are factors that shouldn't go into play, but they will be.
Well, we've been around the block long enough to realise what the score can be, and look at this. What a moment for that to happen. Another point being taken away. This time dragging down, says the ref, and he's done the home fighter a massive favour.
Well, that's maybe costing the fight.
Another point deduction, had one in the 11th, had one in the 12th, and the referee has dragged Gago right back into this. Heads clash once more. And is Dos Santos going to walk away from here despite seemingly taking so many rounds? Is he going to walk away as a beaten man? Referee again is speaking to the Frenchman, who's going looking for Gago, trying to finish it on his own terms, but it's not going to happen. He just doesn't have the punch power. The final bell sounds, and what a grueling fight that was. And the Spanish fans believe that Anthony Gago has done enough.
I still don't think he did. I thought that, remember, when you have a point deduction, whether it be a knockdown or a disqualification, you score the round as if you thought we'd won the round initially, then you take the points away. So I thought that...
You got it 9-all.
Yeah, I thought the Santos won the round, and then obviously you take the point, so that'd be 10-9, and you take the point deduction away. That would make it 9-9 for me in that last round.
Well, here's the clashes. Is this where that's the dragging down on the head?
It would be hard to see. I think the referee just felt under pressure. He should have given a point maybe earlier in the fight, when Dos Santos was clearly headbutting. Unintentionally, but still clearly headbutting Gago. I think
that's where the arm went around the back of the head.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
that's just getting caught up in the action. I don't see. There's nothing. There was worse infringements than that. That's. He should be pulled for that. Going in with the head. It's unintentional, but it's clear.
Well, the referee has taken 2 points away from the French fighter. Anthony Gago, who was outboxed for long stretches of that contest, picks up 2 points thanks to the referee in the last 2 rounds, and has that made the all-important difference.
And I think it would have, because even though I give that round 9-9, because I still thought that it would have been a Dos Santos round, I think most people just automatically will go 10-8. And that would, and on my card then, that would have made it totally different.
Brutal fight, absolutely brutal. Well, Dos Santos clearly looks as though he thinks he's done enough. And plenty of congratulations from his cornermen.
Well, he should be thanking his corner, actually, because I think they might have won in the fight.
I was going to say, well, yeah, he needs to be hugging the referee. I don't know about his cornerman.
No, I think the corner, I think they pressurised him with the constant shouting, banging the corner, you know, and complaining about everything that happened, which is their right to do, by the way. You know, that's their part of their job.
Well, how's it going to go? The judges sitting at ringside have given their deliberations. The supervisor now has concurred and drawn the conclusion, and now we just wait for the master of ceremonies. Is it going to be the undefeated Frenchman, Geoffrey Dos Santos, who's won so many rounds in the mid-stage, or is it going to be Anthony
Resultado del
Gago?
combate. Puntuaciones. 112, 114. 112, 115 y 111, 117. Vencedor a los puntos por decisión unánime, Andoni Gago!
Well, there you are. You heard it. Unanimous decision. Gago gets it. Dos Santos thinks he was robbed. The referee, one way or another, maybe at the bidding of the Spanish corner, made telling interventions in the last two rounds. And Gago moves on now and has the EU featherweight belt wrapped around his waist. Geoffrey dos Santos believes he was robbed.
Ah, yes, it was, as John Rawlings said, a brutal fight, a brutal fight. It looked like and it felt like the 15th round when it was the 6th, and Barry Jones, the best in the